Hi, my name is David and I have the privilege of being pastor here in Clyde Community Church of the Nazarene. Recently, as you may know, we had our epic summer, a week where lots of our young friends from the village came and sang songs and did craft and played games and heard stories from the Bible. And as I reflected on that week, I was struck all over again by one very simple fact. There's a place in the story of God for everyone. There's a place in the story of God for anyone. There's even a place for you. Whoever you are, wherever you've been, there's room in the story of God for you, and that means there's room in this church for you. We see it over and over again in the life of Christ. The very first people to learn that he'd been born in Bethlehem were shepherds, those whom everyone else thought were at the bottom of the social ladder. When his disciples tried to stop some young people from taking up Jesus' precious time, the Lord was angry with his friends and told them, "Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these." At a time when those suffering from leprosy were literally kept on the outskirts of society, Jesus drew near and touched them. At a time when women were seen as second-class citizens, Jesus raised them up to a place of honor and dignity. At a time when there were hard and fast rules about who could enter into the community of faith and who had to be left on the outside looking in, Jesus burst through every door, he knocked down every wall, and he showed there is room for everyone. There's a place for everyone, and no one ever needs to be left behind. In fact, Jesus was so scandalous and so boundless in his welcome that people started to mutter about him, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." And in response, Jesus effectively said, "Absolutely I do." Then he went on to tell possibly his most famous story. It was about a young man who decided it was time to go his own way and do his own thing. He asked his dad for his inheritance right then and there. He may as well have told his father, "I can't wait for you to die." Then he took the money and travelled to a distant country where he threw his wealth away on what the Bible very politely calls wild living. And it's all amazing and it's all wonderful until disaster hits. The money runs out and the food runs out and he hits absolute rock bottom. And that's when he realizes there's still a home waiting for him. There's still a welcome waiting for him. There's still a father waiting for him. Now, the people who first heard Jesus tell this story must have been expecting, at best, this wayward son might be reluctantly welcomed back, maybe as a servant. But realistically, it's much more likely that he'll be turned away at the door. But instead, the father had been watching and waiting, scanning the horizon in hope that his son would one day return. And as soon as he catches the slightest far-off glimpse, he runs flat out to meet his child. He gives him fresh clothes. He puts a ring on his finger. He embraces him back into the family without criticism or complaint because, he says, his son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. There's a place in the story of God for anyone. There's a place for everyone, and there's a place for you. And so please know without a shadow of a doubt, you are welcome here. There's a place for you here. There's a seat at the table for you here. I hope we'll see you soon.